Hey guys, Big Red 310s here again to do another All Sides of the Wrestling World. This one will be playing catch up more than anything, as I have Hell in a Cell, Hardcore Justice, No Surrender, which unfortunately I've taken a long time to view. And I also have Death Force Honor 9, High Noon on DVD. Because I'd seen Death Force Honor 9 I saw live at High Noon. I saw the iPPV, but I still wanted to get the DVD. And then, of course, Joshimania Nights 1, 2, and 3. And some more Ring of Honor television. I really want this one to be short. If this one goes more than 30 minutes, I'm just going to reshoot it because I really don't want it to go more than 30 minutes. Some updates. My interview with AG Vito for Life. I was going to do it tonight, but I got dragged to a family gathering, and I didn't know it was coming. So I'm going to try to do it as soon as I wake up tomorrow. Like, the first thing I'm going to do is contact this guy and say, yo, we got to shoot this interview. So if you're listening, that's the update. Top 100 matches of the year. This year, I actually only have 100 matches, like 101, I think. I'm not done. I still have to see a lot of, actually, not a little, a lot of Japanese wrestling. I have a list, because I haven't seen pretty much any Puro since that video I made in July reviewing Puro for 2011. I haven't seen anything, so I constructed a huge list of 1 million matches that I have to watch, and I'll get working on that as soon as I'm done with the next All Sides of the Wrestling World, the one after this. And hopefully I'll get the top 100 matches of the year video by late January, hopefully. But this year I didn't include any 3 3/4 star matches, because last year I had almost 200 matches, and that was just ridiculous. So this year I knew that no 3 3/4 matches would make the top 100, so I just included 4-star matches. And right now I only have 101 matches, so after I see all the Puro stuff, I'm pretty sure I'll have 1 million honorable mentions and shit like that. Alright, now let's get to the shows. The WB Hell in a Cell, I'm going to go over this one very quickly. I thought this was a fun show, actually. There's some good matches, and overall I just really enjoyed it. I don't know what to say. I had a lot of fun with the show. Nothing was terrible. Had one of the better women's matches I've seen on WWE pay-per-view in a while. Just because I rank a match below 3 stars doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. Now, in my opinion, that match isn't a good match, but I could still think that match was average but enjoyable. And like a good example would be like the Cody Rhodes John Morrison match. That match was like 7 minutes. I gave it 2 1/4. I thought it was enjoyable. It was just kind of short, just because it doesn't have to be good for me to enjoy it. I enjoyed pretty much every match on this card, even Sin Cara vs. Sin Cara, which was very sloppy. Holy shit. And a lot of mistimed spots. It's one thing to just like not hit a guy with your move. It's another thing where like the guy's like on the complete wrong side of the ring, or he's like completely placed improperly. It makes the match like it's worse than a botch. It makes the spot feel really, really forced. And that match was very blah, but I still enjoyed it. It was still high-flying action. It was very sloppy. The crowd didn't care, and there was a lot of problems with it, but I didn't hate the match by any stretch of the imagination. Christian Sheamus was a good fun opener. Eric Boom versus Ziggler Swagger, not as good as their match of Vengeance, but still a good fun tag team match. Mark Henry and Orton was too long, in my opinion, but still very enjoyable. Good psychology for the most part, just too long. And I thought Randy Orton's comeback was too short. I thought Mark Henry kind of beat up on him for 12 of the 15 minutes, and Randy Orton only made a 3-minute comeback. And I don't know, I thought he should have gone a little longer. That's just me. Cody Rhodes, John Morrison, like I said, it was fine. Sorry about that. It was fine, just kind of short, only 7 minutes, not much to it, but it was still fine for what it was. Kelly Beth Phoenix, like I said, one of the better women's matches I've seen all year, really. I really liked it. Really enjoyable. And the main event I actually saw live. I saw the main event live, but I didn't see the rest of the show. And it took me forever to watch this show because I put so many shows ahead of it, but I finally got to it here, and I'll say that the main event was really good from what I remember. I remember really liking it live. There you go. I finally saw John Cena, Alberto Del Rio from Vengeance. If you remember, if you go to that review, I said it was very good because I didn't see the full match, and I said I would watch it full and give it a rating later. Well, I never got around to it, and after I watched this show, I was like, you know what, maybe I should probably watch that. I watched it, I gave it 3 3/4. I thought it was a really, really good match, one of the better WWE pay-per-view main events of the year. That's at the Vengeance review. Go check out that. Okay, Hardcore Justice and No Surrender. My initial thought, because remember, I said that after Bound for Glory that I was done with TNA. The reason being, I don't like getting fucked over, and I'll explain that like this. Very many times, for the past 4 years, I would say, I haven't bought that many pay-per-views from WWE or TNA. And part of them is really because I don't feel they're worth it. I don't have to buy WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, or No Way Out because my brothers, they only care about wrestling at that time, so they'll watch the show with me, and my older brother will pay for it, or my dad might be interested, and he'll buy it, and he'll want to see it. So I never really have to pay for Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, because my whole family is generally interested in wrestling from that point. So generally, it's not just me covering the cost. But the rest of the year, I'm kind of by myself, and so I've kind of been, like a little more picky with what I want to buy, because I'm not really confident in either product. And I don't buy that many, and I've never been ripped off. Usually when I buy pay-per-views, because I think the card will be good, and I'm pretty good at reading cards for the most part. Don't want to pat myself on the back too much there, but I'm usually pretty accurate when it comes to knowing how good a match will be. A great example would probably be World's Greatest Tag Team versus Kings of Wrestling 1 from Glory Bound or 9. There was two types of reactions. You either had a lot of people going insane, saying this match will be awesome, incredible, oh my god, match of the year. Or you had some people saying that, fuck, Haas and Benjamin are in Ring of Honor. I don't want these WWE rejects. This match is going to suck. And I said, okay, guys, I think this match is going to be a great match. But I think Kings of Wrestling will have had much better matches in 2010. And in my opinion, that's exactly how it went. It was a great match, but it was not as good as it was not as good as either of their matches with the Briscoes. It wasn't as good as the match with the Motor City Machine Guns. Like it was a great match, but in my opinion, it wasn't near the best of what the Kings of Wrestling did that year. And that's how it went, in my opinion. I feel a lot of people agreed with me from the reviews I saw. And so usually when I order a pay-per-view for that, like Capital Punishment, I ordered that show. I didn't order Money in the Bank because I was out of town, but I ordered Capital Punishment because I thought it would be a good card. And there was a lot of the matches that I thought would be good were good, like CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, Christian. Those were all really good matches. The overall show was, wasn't great. I would say it was just good, but I wouldn't say I was ripped off. I mean, I was disappointed, but I wasn't ripped off. I thought I would get really good wrestling, and I got it. When I say ripped off, it's usually because I pay to see a guy win, and it doesn't happen. And I almost never, ever buy a pay-per-view just to see a guy win. But at Bound for Glory, I really, they had me convinced that Robert Roode was winning the title. That was the plan until the night of the show. Hulk Hogan convinced them to change their minds, and I felt fucked. Because I didn't care about the undercard. Like, I enjoyed it, believe it or not. Look at my star ratings for the undercard. I enjoyed it, but I didn't really, care. I was watching for the main event, and they fucked me over. I don't like being fucked over. And I said before the video, if TNA doesn't do this, I'm done. I just can't constantly go through this month after month. I'm done. I will not watch any more of their pay-per-views after that point. And I will just, I'll still read the spoilers because I will listen to the Brian and Vinny Impact review every week no matter what, because that show is hilarious. That's one of my favorite shows to listen to on the internet. And since I'm going to be listening to the Impact review any week anyways, I don't feel too bad about reading the spoilers, but God, I just still, I don't care about the product. Nothing will faze me. I will never, ever buy a pay-per-view from them ever again unless there is a major overhaul in the company as far as management is concerned. Because under this current team, I can't do it ever again. I can't get invested in anything ever again. And people are like, oh, well, they fixed it. They had the Robert Roode heel turn. I don't care. They fucked me over. Yeah, no ma. Done. So that's that. But I said, because at the point, I'd already seen one of these shows, and the other one I was going to review eventually. And I was like, you know what? I said after Bound for Glory, so let me watch these two and give the last TNA reviews ever. My initial plan with these two shows was, I'm just going to show the star ratings and move on. But the more I think about it, me ranting on TNA is part of the reason why I got my name on here. My TNA Victory Road review from 2009 is still considered by many to be the best video I ever did. And so, TNA was a big part of my YouTube career here. So I feel it is right to review these shows, the last TNA reviews you will ever get from me for a long time, and then just move on with my life. No, I'm not going to watch Turning Point. No, I'm not going to watch Final Resolution. Don't ask for reviews. Not happening. All right. Hardcore Justice, I thought was a bad show. This show is fucking horrible to sit through. Fucking horrible, horrendous, terrible to sit through. God, I was just in pain sitting through this show. Especially matches 2 through 5. I was just like, this is so boring. I hate this. Fuck TNA. Again, like Hell in a Cell, the opener I actually saw live. I saw that live in August. I remember I only saw that match. I didn't see anything else, and that match was good. I gave it 3 stars. But oh my God, the knockouts match I thought was whatever. It was kind of, the girls were kind of sloppy, also mistimed, out of place. The match, they couldn't really connect with each other, and the match, I just didn't like it. Devon and Pope, I thought there was no substance to this match whatsoever. Like, the match was fine, but there was no substance to it. There was legitimately, like, it was just like an 8-minute waste of time. Like, it was okay. Nothing they did was terrible, but there was nothing. Like, there was almost nothing to screw up. And that match was whatever. Mickie James winner, I did not like at all. Ugh. Well, not as bad as the next match, but that match, my God, Mickie James a winner, I just thought was very dull. And I thought that winner was, I don't know what it is. When she was in WWE, there were a lot of people on here saying how she's this really, really great women's worker, and that, people should realize, she was very underrated, and people didn't realize how great Katie Lee Burchill was in WWE. She goes to TNA, and in my opinion, she's done nothing out of the ordinary. All her singles matches I find to be very disappointing. She can be very sloppy. She can not connect with the wrestler. She can be out of place. I mean, I don't know. I never thought she was that great, but on this show, this show was terrible. I did not like this match at all. 1.5. Oh my God! But the next match, RVD versus Crimson, I fucking hated this match. Crimson, Tommy Mercer. When I first saw him on AIW Absolution 5, I think this was in 2010. I thought he was okay. Like, he was in a 4-way with Johnny Gargano. What the fuck is that guy's name? Facade and someone else. It wasn't Shimazine. It was someone, and the match was fine. Like, it was just like an 8-minute spot fest, really. And he looked okay. And then he came to TNA, and everyone's saying, "Oh my God, he's green, he's green, he's green, he's green, he's green." And I'm like, yeah, I didn't really notice. And he had that really bad match with Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe put in no effort in that match, so whatever. And I've always thought that he was green, but I just never really saw how he was that bad. Oh my God, in this match, legitimately, when he was working over RVD, I was not enjoying the match whatsoever. It was just so dull. He and RVD, oh God, when this match was announced, I thought it would be a disaster. And that's what I thought it was, a disaster. I didn't like this match whatsoever. Sorry if I can't comment more on it, but I really remember very little from it because I really hated it that much. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was, and the finish was terrible. Oh my God, the finish was horrible. Where Crimson gives RVD his finisher, and Jerry Lynn runs in to cause the DQ, and because of that, RVD loses 10 points, which it was so stupid. And I know the storyline that Jerry Lynn wanted to cost RVD the Bound for Glory series. Why couldn't he just attack him when the referee was down? And it's not like RVD did a 5-star frog splash and was covering him and Jerry Lynn stopped the pin. No, he stopped it when RVD was about to lose anyways. He wasn't going to gain any points. It was just really stupid. Star. Fortune vs. Mortal was a fun 6-man. Fun TNA 6-man, what can I say? Bullet Ray Mr. Anderson was okay. I mean, it was whatever. I mean, both guys didn't do that bad. They had an okay match, I guess. Beer Money Mexican America, I didn't like that much. I mean, I thought it was okay, just like Bully Ray Mr. Anderson. But Mexican America, I don't know, man. This match, they seemed very off to me. And Beer Money, like, the reviews at the time, like, I know Dave Meltzer was saying how Beer Money are such great workers. They got a good match out of Mexican America. I didn't see it. And Beer Money are great workers, but this match, to me, just kind of flopped, really. It just kind of went by, and yeah. Sting versus Kurt Angle I thought was really good. I thought it was the match of the night. Excellent exchange of near falls. Kurt Angle always gives full effort. He and Sting put on a really good match, I thought. Nice pacing. The crowd was into it. The submissions were really nice. Like, everything about this match I really liked. This match, I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed this match in the 6-man and the opener, but I literally, like, oh my God, the rest of this card is just so, like, it's either the match sucks or it's just fucking horrible to sit through. This whole show is fucking horrible to sit through. The next show, even though this show has more 3-star matches, I actually like the next show a little more, and I'll explain. But this show gets a 5.5. It's a bad show, in my opinion. It's just really fucking hard to sit through. And, I mean, there is some good stuff. There are 3 good matches, but it's just really hard to sit through, and that's why I gave it a 5.5 out of 10. Not a good show, in my opinion. Could have been a lot better. No Surrender 2011. God, this show This show was better. This show I actually thought was enjoyable. I pretty much enjoyed every match on the show except for 2 or 3. But every match, even the 2-star ones, I really enjoyed the show. But the problem with this show is there's just not a lot to it. I mean, there's 2 good matches, but there really isn't a lot of wrestling content on here. The previous show has better matches, has 3 good matches. This one has 2. But still, this show is much easier to sit through, in my opinion. It was much more enjoyable than the previous show was, so I'll give this one a higher rating. If this one had the card, if this one was as easy to sit through as the previous show was, and it didn't have as many bad matches, I'd probably give this a 7, to be honest. Kid Cash, Jesse Sorensen, I thought was a nice, fun, fast-paced opener. Just too short. It was only like 7 minutes. They couldn't really do a lot, but it was fun for what it was. Jesse Sorensen's a little green, but he's got potential, I think. Bully Ray versus James Storm. This match was not good. This match also zero substance whatsoever. Bully Ray was stalling a shitload. I know James Storm was hurt, so I don't blame them. But the finish I thought was horrible, even by TNA standards. So James Storm goes to spit beer in Bully Ray's eyes, and the referee is right behind Bully Ray, right fucking behind him in plain sight. And James Storm does it, Bully Ray ducks, and hits the referee. Then James Storm puts on a Fujiwara armbar. Or, no, he didn't put on a Fujiwara armbar. He put on, I can't even remember what happened. He put on a submission, Bully Ray tapped, and the ref called for the bell, and everyone was like, oh, James Storm won. And then the referee revealed that James Storm was disqualified for spitting beer in his eyes. Not only is that a fucking terrible finish, DQ because of spitting beer in the eyes. Now, granted, how many beer money matches have we seen over the years where part of the gimmick of the match is that they spit beer in the ref's eyes to distract them? I've seen it so many fucking times, and I've never ever seen a DQ. And also in this match, James Storm, let's say for kayfabe's sake that James Storm knew that he would get disqualified by doing that. The referee was right there. Like, even if you did hit Bully Ray, he was right fucking there. Why would that be legal? Bully Ray at least did it behind the referee's back. It was stupid. The finish was terrible. The match had no substance. Star and a quarter. Sorry, James Storm. I know you were hurt, but worst match on the show. Mickey James winner, almost on the same level as the last match. I just didn't enjoy this. Sorry. Moving on. Mexican America, Pope and Devon. I enjoyed this. Mexican America, again, they're just, I don't know what it is about them. I'm not going to say I don't like them, but they don't, I don't know. They're off, in my opinion. They have some work to do. I know Anarchy is an OVW, but they were off. But this match was still good. Pope made his comeback, and that it wasn't good. It was okay, but Pope made his comeback, and when Pope made his comeback and the match kind of got back on track, like, it still became entertaining. I gave it 2 1/4. It wasn't bad. It was still entertaining. It just, like I said, there wasn't much to it. It was shorter, and yeah, whatever. Matt Morgan, Samoa Joe, I enjoyed this match. Again, just too short, and the finish sucked. Matt Morgan hit the carbon footprint out of nowhere, but still, this match was entertaining. Joe worked hard. I know Joe and Morgan are really good friends. Maybe that's why Joe actually cared about this match. If they had more time, it would have been a lot better. But this was enjoyable. 2 3/4 stars, I thought. Robert Roode versus Gunner, also enjoyable. This told the same story that James Storm did, that the James Storm Bully Ray match did, where Robert Roode needed a submission to tie Bully Ray, but this was executed much better. This was just a straight-up match. Robert Roode got a bunch of submissions in. Gunner kept avoiding them. Gunner worked over Robert Roode. Robert Roode made his comeback with submissions, and finally Robert Roode knocks on a crossface, and Gunner taps out. Short, simple, easy, fun match. 2 3/4 stars. Austin Aries, Brian Kidd. This was a really good match. Match of the night. This was the best match on both shows, in my opinion. This was really good. These guys had really great chemistry. Their match at Bound for Glory was better. I think part of that was because it was on a bigger stage in front of a bigger crowd. It felt like a bigger deal. But this was still good. Nice exchange of near falls. Aries was really on pace here. You know, I said this on my Twitter that I thought Bully Ray was the TNA Wrestler of the Year, just because he had that great feud with Devon, which I thought was an awesome feud with Devon at the beginning of the year. He constantly puts forth great promos, and he always tries. I almost never see a show where Bully Ray doesn't care. He always tries. He had a good feud with Devon. He had a great, awesome feud with Devon. He had a good feud with AJ, which also led to TNA's second best match of the year, in my opinion, with that match against AJ. And he got the stuff in Immortal with Anderson. You know, he's been really consistent all year. Aries hasn't been in the company long enough for me to give him match of the year, and Aries' stuff has been much less profile than Bully Ray's has, but Aries is still awesome. He's arguably the best wrestler in that company. I mean, Angle is Angle, but I don't know. Austin Aries just recently has been on fire in TNA. Bully Ray versus Robert Roode. This was okay. Not much substance to it either. Bully Ray did a lot of stalling, and the finish also was out of nowhere. Which in the Matt Morgan match, like that bothered me, but it was like, you know what? Okay, it's in a mid card match that doesn't matter. This was in a match to determine the number one contender to the biggest show of the year, and you have a fucking flat finish. Come on. It literally came out of nowhere, and I was liking this match. I was like, wow, this match is going along really well. This could be another 3-star match, and then it just ended, and I was like, okay, guess not. But not because there was not much to it. 2.5 stars though. It was still enjoyable. The way they put over Robert Roode was good. That helped bumped it up. Kurt Angle, Sting, Mr. Anderson. The crowd didn't care at all, but this match was good. I've always liked 3-way matches. I don't care what people say. I've always enjoyed them, and I enjoyed this match. I thought all the guys tried. I thought, it was a nice effort for what it was. Good exchange, good 3-way spots. Good exchange of Germans by Kurt Angle. Good performance by Anderson, I thought. I thought this was a fun match. I gave it 3 stars. Again, the show was enjoyable. There's only 2 good matches, but there's a lot of 2-star matches on this show, where the previous show has a lot of 1-star matches, and this show is just overall so much easier to sit through, in my opinion. The previous show was just so fucking dull to sit through, but I'll definitely give this a 6 out of 10. It's enjoyable, but like I said, the wrestling, if things got more time, this show would be a lot better, but there's just, I enjoyed it. It's an okay show. That's what a 6 out of 10 means. Okay, it's enjoyable. But there's some bad. I don't want to make it sound like I didn't like, this show was perfect, because the Bully Ray and James Storm match I really hated. The Mickie James Winner match I really didn't like. And the finishes for some of these matches, particularly Bully Ray and Robert Roode and Matt Morgan Samoa Joe, also I didn't like. But overall, there's enjoyable stuff on here. Just, again, there's just not that much good wrestling, so I can't really recommend it. But it's okay for what it is. It's not that bad. Death Before Dishonor 9. I've been going back and forth on this rating. I think I'm gonna stay on a 9.0. I love this show. I saw the show live. This is my favorite Ring of Honor show I've ever seen. I liked it more than Final Battle last year. I liked it more than Best in the World this year. It was just really, really enjoyable. Every match was a lot of fun, except for the Mike Bennett match, which as I said, I fucking hated that match live. Live, I was sitting next to Sabu TNA Forever, and I actually put my head, like we were sitting in the balcony, and I was sitting next to like a little railing, not a railing, like a little, I don't even know what it was. Like it was like a block or something, like a side, like almost a wall. And I told Sabu, and I'm like, okay, tell me when the match gets near its end. And I actually put my head down and fell asleep for like a minute or two, just because I really didn't want to watch the match because it was so boring live. I didn't like this match at all live. And on DVD, I thought it came off, I don't know. It was fine. The comeback was nice. Shelton did some good spots. It was better. It was more enjoyable. Still nothing special in my opinion, though. The opener live was great. Was good. It was a fun opener. On DVD, it was okay. It was fun. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't as good. It was more average than good in my opinion. The 3-way live was fucking great. On DVD, it was really good. Really good. The near falls between the Young Bucks and the Future Shock on DVD didn't come off nowhere near as entertaining as it did live. Live, I was really into everything. On the DVD, I was like, okay, cool spot. It was a really good match, but it didn't have the same effect. El Generico Jimmy Jacobs live, I thought was just okay. I thought it was good, but more for the Kevin Steen stuff. I didn't think the match was that special, but this match was good, as shown on the DVD. Charlie Haas, Michael Logan, I thought was good as well. Briscoe's On That Express and Eddie Roderick Strong was an amazing double main event. Eddie Roderick Strong is my second favorite match of the year. I just love this match. The structure, the storytelling, both guys just being exhausted by the last minute of this match and barely being able to trade moves because they're both so tired. And it's not a story because you could tell they were just tired as fuck. The Ladder War 3 I thought was very well booked. This is a type of ladder match that I love. Not that crazy spot fest action. They kind of build to the spots. There's more heat on the heels. It's more technically sound than a normal ladder match. This is the type of ladder match that I like. More my type of style, and I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I just thought it was really great. So yeah, this show I give it 9 out of 10. There's so much good on this show. This show's so much fun. I really enjoyed it. Please buy this show. This was the best New York show. This was, in my opinion, this and Honor Takes Center Stage Night 1, 2 best Ring of Honor shows of the year, and nothing else came close. So definitely one of the best Ring of Honor shows of the year. Chikara High Noon. I remember I saw iPPV a few weeks ago. A few updates. Mike Quack Machete Kingston was the same. Archibald Petco Cabana was the same. Green Antursos was a little worse, but pretty much the same. Sarah Doe, Jacob Harremeyer, a little worse, but pretty much the same. Connie Youngbucks was a little better on DVD, actually. Gregory Iron Icarus was about the same. El Generico Jigsaw, I didn't see it. It's a fun spot fest. The one thing that did kind of change was the Lucha de Apuestas match, which the wrestling wise, I actually thought was only 3.5. I gave it 3 3/4 because it was the big storyline conclusion of the Ultra Mantis Black BDK feud. And because of that, and I know I got a lot of shit for giving that match 4 stars, and I don't care. Like, I know I lowered it because live, like when I saw this show live, I had a lot of technical issues with the pay-per-view. It was actually my worst Go Fight Live experience ever. It was probably equivalent to your usual WWE TNA pay-per-view stream, but I've still made reviews off of them. I still made a review, but I knew I didn't fully see every match. So when I watched it back on DVD, I thought some things would change. Nothing really changed except that match. That match wasn't as good as I thought. But just because I rated it 4 stars, though, I still don't think I should have gotten that much shit. I still think ratings are objective, and if you really care about them, then there's a problem. But overall, I had to lower the show down to 0.25 points to an 8.5 out of 10. I don't know. It didn't come off as good. Maybe because I was live in the moment, it came off like an amazing atmosphere. On DVD, it just came off like a great Chikara show. There's a lot of good. I do recommend it. It just wasn't as good as I thought. Admittedly, I was wrong. Joshimania. These shows, I'm sorry, these shows, in my opinion, were all hard to sit through. And I like good wrestling. And I even like Joshi. I reviewed Dream Slam 1 and I loved it. Go look for that review back on my channel. But I didn't know a lot of these people, and I think because of that my care level wasn't there. And I found these shows just really difficult to sit through, especially Night 3. Night 3 I thought was a fucking chore to sit through. And most of the matches are 2 3/4 stars, but they were still like, I was like dreading coming through them. I was like, like each match, like I was counting down the matches on the show, like checking my watch to see how much time was left in each match. I'm sorry. I appreciate the effort by everyone involved, but I just really wasn't enjoying most of these shows. The matches just kind of flowed by for me. All the matches are technically solid, as you can see by the ratings. I think the worst match on the whole weekend was Tim Don's Green Ant, which says a lot, actually. But the matches are technically fine. It's just I didn't really enjoy most of them. They just kind of like, they were technically sound, but they weren't really like enjoyable for me. They were just, they were just average matches in my opinion. Let me talk about the good. On night 1, the Mayumi Ozaki, Mio Shirai, Yoko Hamada Cherry was a really fun match. Manami Toyota Toshi Yomatsu was a really good match. That was my favorite match of night 1. But the reason night 1 gets such low marks, 6.75 out of 10, is because of the double main event. I was very, very disappointed by both matches. I know a lot of people were really disappointed with Cerro del Rey Aja Kong, and that's fine. I'm not going to speak more on that. I was really disappointed with the Campeonatos de Parejas match. I was really upset when Chikara booked it on the show. I know they wanted to put Chikara talent and they wanted to draw, but I thought a Campeonatos de Parejas match really should be saved for the season. That's not some postseason bullshit. I think that shit belongs on the season, and I didn't think it belonged here in Joshimania, and I thought the match was really disappointing, particularly because maybe this crowd isn't really your average Chikara crowd. So I gave it a 6.75 out of 10. There's 4 3-star matches, but this show just, I don't know, it didn't feel easy to sit through, and the double main event was super disappointing. So really, like, I wasn't really that happy with the show overall. Night 2 is a good show, but still also hard to sit through. Gami and Mayumi Ozaki, I really like both of them, but for the most part, I really couldn't. I mean, I don't know. The Cerro del Rey match was good. The Manami Toyota match was good. The Hamada Kong match was good, and the opener was good too. There's good stuff, but again, like, unless you really care about the characters, the show's just, they're just matches to me. They're just matches to me. Night 3, the undercard was really tough to sit through, and most of them are 2 3/4 stars, which are above average, like the higher average end matches, but still, I mean, they were just tough. Gami I liked. The main event I thought was really good, and the 6-man I thought was incredible, absolutely amazing, worth the price of night 3 alone, in my opinion. 7.5 out of 10 for that one. Like, if you're a Joshi fan, I think you'll really, really, really like these shows. But if you're not, I wouldn't really recommend any of them. Like, maybe night 3, but that's it, because I think you really have to care about Joshi a lot to really get into it. And to me, I mean, I've seen Joshi before. I've liked it, but I don't know a lot of these characters, and I guess I just didn't care that much about the matches. There's good wrestling all throughout the weekend, but the shows just, I don't know. I'm sorry. I thought they were tough to sit through. Good effort though, and an awesome 6-man, I must admit. The ROH TV show, very quickly. The The Proving Ground match was some great tag team All Night Express. I thought it was just okay. It was actually one of the weakest All Night Express matches I've ever seen. The David Richards Mike Logan match I thought was really, really good. Looking forward to seeing more from them. Overall, I thought the last 2-week build to Final Battle was okay. Could have been better. I wasn't that thrilled with the go home show as most people were. I thought it was just fine. All right, I'm hitting 30 minutes, and I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm out. Goodbye.